Hey, how's it going, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Stargirl. This time on Season 1, Episode 6, titled The Justice Society. So, I can already feel some team formation happening in this episode. Now that we have actually gotten two new members, we've somewhat gotten two new members. They've identified and recruited Rick Tyler, Rick Harris as Owlman, as the actual son of Owlman, and they've recruited him onto the team, given him that knowledge, and he found out that his parents didn't really die in a car accident, but rather in murder when Solomon Grundy took out the car and it crashed into a tree and all that kind of stuff. Very emotional scene. And we found a bit more of what his upbringing was like after he was passed down to his uncle's hands. And exactly what went wrong there, so that was cool. So we officially have Rick Tyler, and I think he's not really completely on the heroic path just yet. He agrees to actually help them become the Justice Society. He agrees to take on the mantle, but his heart is set on vengeance against the people who took his parents away. So it's less about justice for him and more about vengeance and stuff. And we saw firsthand what his vengeance is like when he took out his uncle's truck, just punched it right into the middle of the road and stuff. So yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting seeing him actually become Owlman, become that kind of hero, and become that kind of symbol of justice alongside the others and stuff. But yeah, we have him, and we also had Beth Chapel. Beth discovered Dr. Midnight's goggles in the last episode in Courtney's room, and she put them on, and it was introduced to the AI of the original Dr. Midnight, and she adapted to them fairly well. She adapted to them fairly well. She actually understood the mechanics and, asked questions and got to know the AI fairly well. I think Charles... What was his name? I think it was Charles something, like Charles Linder. I feel like that's completely wrong. What was his actual name? Charles McNider. Yeah, Charles McNider. She wanted to call him Chuck. But his name was Charles McNider. And I think he went blind fighting the mob, and then he developed the goggles and, fought crime with them, and he had like an owl too, so that was cool. But she hasn't been fully accepted though. She hasn't been fully accepted as an actual member of the team, as the new Dr. Midnight. So I think this episode could be her actually proving herself to be a useful member of the team and proving herself to be the next Dr. Midnight. So that would be cool. So yeah, the three official members we have are Courtney as Stargirl, and Yolanda as Wildcat, and Rick as the new Owlman. So yeah, so the Justice Society, I think the ending of the episode. I mean, I don't want to think too far ahead and spoil myself or predict something too on point. But I think it's in the title. I sense a formation coming and kind of more threats from the ISA coming. And speaking of the ISA, we had confirmation at the end of the last episode that Principal Bowen is in fact the fiddler. She and the other guy, I keep forgetting his name, the guy that looks like a short Santa Claus. Until I remember his name, that's what I'm going to call him now. Like the guy that actually looks like a short Santa Claus. They stopped a transport truck down the middle of the road with a school bus, and then she hypnotized one of the men with the violin, and then the other guy had too much willpower to actually succumb to that, so then he was killed with the old sleeve up the gun, that old ace up the sleeve. So he was killed with that, and another guy was killed with poisoned chocolate from France. So that was that. But yeah, so they have a satellite now, like a big range satellite dish in their possession. So what they're gonna do with that, I don't know. Because I mean, I think knowing villains, I think it could be like to transmit some kind of signal, transmit some large kind of signal across the town, maybe across all of Blue Valley or something. I don't know. But they're villains. They cannot possibly have any positive plans with it. So yeah, I think it could be to do with Project New America. It could be to do with Jordan's plan with Project New America. Could be something to do with that, transforming America into something else. I don't know, but we'll see. But that is pretty much all I've got from the last episode. So episode 6, the Justice Society. Let's go. And if you guys want the full-length reaction to this episode to watch along with, that will be over on Patreon, so you can go to that, check that out over there. But yeah, that is it. So let's go. Oh damn! Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay.
Bench.
That was a solid right hook. That was a solid right hook.
Let's see how you like being taken out of the game.
Responsible parents. Very, very responsible parents. Yeah. Did they kill him or just hospitalize him? I mean, either way is bad, but still, one is definitely the lesser evil. Yeah. It's just hiding. The stuff is hiding.
Where'd all that come from?
This isn't a joke, Courtney. That lantern can kill you.
Really? Is it that powerful?
What's it do?
Well, thankfully, nothing without its ring.
There is a ring, yeah. Yeah, someone did tell me there is actually a
It was-
man-made ring, yeah.
Beth was wearing them.
Wait, who's Beth?
Beth Chapel.
The new Dr. Midnight.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, so now she's a new Dr. Midnight. Okay, great. When you need a backup plan.
Bring them back here. Do you understand that?
Pat, I can't just
Or
take...
do you want your new friends to wind up like Joey Zarek?
He's just... God damn it. I mean, he has a point, though. If they die, they die going into the field of battle knowing... or having an idea of what they're up against. If she loses her friends in the field of battle, that would make it all the more personal. Damn, he breathes ice in his sleep? Really?
Maybe next time you'll remember to lift with your...
Oh, yeah, they killed him.
Hire a skinnier coach.
They killed him.
Well, maybe you should stop killing them. Finish cleaning this up. Then get your suits out of storage.
Their
We're
suits.
both going back into action tonight.
Their suits. Oh, I mean, they're
then, bud.
great.
right.
Yeah, they're villains. Of course they have suits.
Game
So,
on.
so who are they then?
How long you known about this?
3 weeks, give or take, but I do my best work under pressure, trust me.
Yeah, procrastination at its
Oh,
finest. At its
Valentino. Is
finest.
science fair today?
For the love.
You look so proud of it. Yeah. But he's not. No, Pat's just disappointed. Classic. Not angry, just disappointed.
If Ted Grant came back, then I have a chance too.
Yeah.
That's what being Wildcat really is. Thank you.
Oh, don't take it away from her. Come
Thank
on.
you for picking me.
Yeah, don't take this away from Yolanda, please. She deserves this. Come on.
You're welcome.
She is the new Wildcat.
I've got a
She
plan.
is.
Why don't we just burn this book while we're at it?
Oh, Fahrenheit
I'll
451.
be here all week.
Yeah, there is a movie on that, isn't there? Yeah. Aww. She's found a friend in AI. Humans treat her like crap, and the artificial intelligence is the one thing that treats her like a person. Oh, she can't do that.
Best friend.
She can't do that. Oh, she brought up the best friend card. Really?
With Chuck in my ear, I feel like I can do anything.
We can. Wildcat proved that.
I don't want to be
So
here
what's
for
the
this.
plan?
I don't want to be here for
Tell
this.
us the plan.
I don't want to be here for this.
Being Wildcat is the only good thing that's happened to me in forever. I'm not giving you back the suit.
Yeah, it would have been unreasonable to not expect resistance.
You didn't know my parents were murdered. You didn't know about me. I gotta ask you, what the hell did Starman use you for? Because as far as I can tell, you don't do anything.
He has a massive robot. He's Robot Man. Not the one from Doom Patrol. He's Stripe. He's Stripe, not Robot Man. Not bad. He's Stripe.
I look forward to working with you.
Yeah. Try not to kill this one this time.
Classic. We pride ourselves in keeping the school clean.
Oh yeah, the trash.
Pick up your trash.
Yeah. Also, even villains recycle. Even villains help support the environment. They can excuse murder, but they draw the line at environmental harm. Ancient inventions. Oh, the catapult. That's cool. Catapult. Solar panel. Nice. Yeah, maybe having your parents here would have been a good idea after all, huh?
Hey,
Oh, she's here. She's here.
Barbara, you came? Pillow, Toto, and
Oh, and what kind is this?
Really? That's names for lava? Is it gonna explode everywhere? Is it gonna explode everywhere? Oh. Oh, okay. Okay, that happened, yeah. Okie dokie. You could have just had a giant chocolate lava cake and then just split it down the middle. Yeah. Like have some kind of mechanism inside that pushes it apart, and then the chocolate just comes bursting out. Yeah.
If Pat asks for your staff back, are you giving it to him?
It's a good question.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
My arch enemy.
Yeah.
His digital fingerprints are all over this.
Earth to
The
bed,
gambler.
below.
The gambler.
Someone's trying to hack-
It's only a hacker, Courtney.
That hacker could have the power to melt our faces.
No.
Incorrect. Gambler doesn't have any physical powers of any kind.
He has technology.
It's somebody's birthday. Which one of you gets to make a wish? Don't be shy.
Whose birthday is it? Is it Cameron's?
It's my mom's birthday.
Oh.
Was her birthday.
Oh.
He has ice breath.
Skittles and hot fudge would go together, but this is absolutely delicious.
He's got ice breath.
If the judges tried this.
Oh, that changes things. Okay, that changes things.
Follow my lead.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, there's a clear system of leadership here.
The goggles can see the code.
Ah, yeah, okay. Can they tell what order it's in?
Nice. Thanks.
Really, first time they can do like the order as well? Like what
After
order is
you.
supposed to? Oh, snap. Someone killed security.
Is he okay?
That's a dead body, guys. Were you prepared to see that?
They're called Sportsmaster and Tigress.
Sportsmaster and
Bicycles attack
Tigress.
dogs.
So what do we do now?
Oh god, no, Rick, no. Oh damn, no, Wildcat 2. Oh. Tigress versus Wildcat, very fitting, very fitting. There we go. Get those talons out. There we go. Use that strength. There we go. Come on, tag team them. Come on.
There's a fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Blast her with it. There we go. Oh, he's got a hockey stick too? Oh, he's Sportsmaster. That means all the sports. Well, I mean, it's a bomb. Yeah, it's a bomb. That can't destroy the staff, though. Did they kill the staff? They did not just kill the staff. No, it's fine. It's good. Yeah. It's gonna take more than a hockey puck bomb to take out the staff. Stripes in.
Don't worry. He's with us.
Yeah, Stripes in the game too. Oh, that's the shot from Crisis. Oh, a badminton bibbly bobbly thing. Is that a bomb too? Oh, it's a flashbang. Okay.
He didn't do any of it. He didn't listen to a single word I said.
Seriously?
Serious.
What, like it went in one ear and out the other? And it seems to me, based on what you're telling me, that you're trying to help them.
I'm just trying to help them.
I mean, that's gotta be kind of frustrating.
Fresh.
And even maybe...
Oh, the self-awareness.
A lot. They're going to get themselves killed.
Yeah, I mean, that's my sentiment exactly.
Yeah, the self-awareness isn't strong with this one.
I see what you did there.
Without him, Project New America is Project Nothing. Right, Jordan?
They need brainwave to help transmit the
You know, I
signal.
thought Mozart here
Yeah.
was gonna wake him up.
So then who are they?
Let's find out.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, Sportsmaster and Tigress are on there, yeah.
Meeting adjourned.
Damn. Damn, the end of the episode. Okie dokie. All right. Oh, okay. Okay. So, yeah, new JSA. We officially have a new JSA, and yeah, I think I mean, yeah, Pat made a good point. I can't say I didn't fully see Pat immediately demanding that Courtney get all the JSA stuff back, because it was a very reasonable point that he argued that if she didn't want to lose her new friends the same way she lost Joey, then she had to get the stuff back and she had to take them out of the JSA. Because again, I think like I said, with Joey's thing, it would be straight up. It was clear cut murder. He was an innocent kid, had nothing to do with the ISA or the JSA. Just an innocent kid who wanted to be a magician. And Jordan killed him just to make a point, and William for the same reasons. But Yolanda, Beth, and Rick, they're just kids. They're basically just finding out about this stuff, and I think Yolanda. I feel like Yolanda's kind of like advocating for Yolanda and Beth to actually keep their stuff was more emotional, because for Beth's side, she felt like she had a whole new friend. Her entire high school life, she's gone with barely anyone noticing her, barely anyone talking to her or listening to what she has to say. She's the only member of the club that she came up with for the students and teachers thingy, like the appreciation thingy. So Chuck, as she calls him, is the one person she talks to that listens to her, and he's the one person who gets her, and she immediately pulled out the best friend card, the one person who talks to her with no aversion to listening to her voice or answering her questions or having discussions with her is the one person that she actually feels like she can open up to and share her interests with. So there's emotion there. And then obviously with Yolanda, she was even watching one of Ted Grant's last fights, and sharing the story of how he was kicked out, and being Wildcat was his second chance to actually become who he was and to actually do some good and make a difference and stuff. So for her, that's kind of her legacy carrying on in Ted Grant's name, and she's a boxer too. So and especially after the scandal she went through, being Wildcat is the one chance that she has to recreate herself and to redeem herself in the eyes of society. So there's a lot of emotion here. But I think in terms of more personal kind of connections, I think it's Courtney and Rick that Pat can tolerate having on this new team. It's like those two are the two members he can actually tolerate someone. He can actually stomach them being superheroes like their parents were, because they're both legacy members. They're both legacy members, and he admitted he never knew Rex actually had a kid. He didn't know that much, but then when Rick actually came along, he did start having his suspicions and stuff like that. So yeah. So then he can actually take the time out to actually talk to Rick and share some of that information and everything. So yeah, I think and again it was unreasonable to not expect resistance. After how after how impactful these new identities have become, especially to Yolanda and to Beth as well. It's unreasonable to not expect resistance to when asking them to give up these costumes and give up these identities, because it's the one chance they have to be themselves and to actually do some good. So it's actually really good to see them actually exploring that, and the fact that they won't immediately give up their things without a fight. And it's it's again, I mean, for Courtney and Rick, it makes sense because they're legacy members, so technically this stuff is being passed down to them. But for Yolanda and Beth, I'd argue that give them the chance to work for it and to prove that they're worthy of those titles, and then which they already have done. So in that sense, it actually works out. But yeah, I think Beth's one, I think her start was a little unfair, I think, because she wasn't officially consulted. She kind of just wandered in and knew about the Yolanda being Wildcat stuff and Stargirl stuff, so she kind of just wandered in and found her way in on her own, much to the dismay of Courtney. So that one seems a little bit iffy, but Yolanda's one, Yolanda was actively sought out by Courtney herself and told about this whole identity and given this chance and stuff. So I mean, I guess in this episode they gave Beth the same opportunity, actually, gave her the costume and everything, and she tried her best. But yeah, we officially have new JSA members. That shot too, that team jump shot when that team shot when Stripe landed and he walked up behind them. That was out of Crisis. I would recognize that shot anywhere. That was straight out of the Crisis cameo, showing off the new Earth too. So yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, we have our new JSA. Stargirl, Stripe, Owlman, Dr. Midnight, and Wildcat. So yeah, I think we have other members. We have Johnny Thunder, who people are saying that Mike Dugan, Mike's best friend Jakeem is actually the one who wields it in the comics. So should we see him? We had like one shot in this episode with the like one zoom in shot of the pen. So I think each time they tease it, they are teasing that it's going to be used at some point. Something's going to happen. So whether or not they actually bring Jakeem in this season or not, like how many members they're actually planning on establishing in this first season, I'm not sure. Like right now they have 5. So that seems pretty clear cut. But I mean, how many members of the IS are there? So there's Icicle, then there's Sportsmaster and Tigress, then there's Gambler, the Fiddler, Brainwave, and Solomon Grundy, and now Doctor Reach has 8 members and 5 of them. So I think they can bring Jakeem in, but then I don't know. I mean, if he's Mike's best friend, or if he's a friend of Mike's, Mike is what, like early teens, I'd say, or 15 probably, not too much older than 50, so like not really too much older than Courtney and the kids. Like they're all teenagers basically, so he's arguably younger than them. So how Pat would feel about bringing a kid his age into the team, think there's not really much to dissect there. But then Johnny Thunder is inside the pen, so whatever powers Johnny Thunder has, he probably passes on to whoever wields the pen once he possesses them, so then they get powers, so then Jakeem gets powers. So yeah, I don't know, maybe once he gets powers and proves he can handle himself, then things would make much more sense. But then what other members do we have? We have the Flash. We have the Flash, but then the helmet. I don't know how that would work though, because the Flash is struck by lightning. That's like common speedster law. The Flash is struck by lightning, and then granted powers by the Speed Force. So whether or not you could actually have the helmet on, and then just have that, send a static shock down the body or something. I don't know if that would work. Then you have Dr. Fate, who has the helmet, and then Green Lantern. There is a ring. I do remember I do remember reading a comment saying that it's a different Green Lantern from the official Green Lantern Corps, but the ring itself is man-made. He actually harnessed the power and made himself a ring, and it somewhat still follows the same law and mechanisms of the official Green Lantern Corps lantern and the rings. So the power is, I think it's still willpower based. I think, or maybe that's like the one exception. This one isn't willpower based, but it still kind of gives him a different edge to it, like his own kind of unique twist. So yeah, Alan Scott is the character's name. So yeah, I have no idea who he is. I mean, the Green Lanterns I know are Hal Jordan, Sinestro, and John Stewart, who I mean, based on what we saw in the Arrow finale, when John Diggle actually gets his own Green Lantern from space, then he might become John Stewart, and even Earth 90's Flash recognized him as John Stewart, but just without the ring. But this is Earth too, so I don't know how they're gonna go with that. But this one we have Alan Scott. I mean, I don't know if we have Alan Scott. I mean, yeah, no, someone did point out that the same person pointed out that the green flames and rays of beams of energy we saw in the very beginning, like the opening battle, was actually Green Lantern firing off some energy blast, but we never saw him. We never actually saw him. So whether or not Alan Scott, I mean, the ISA claimed to have killed off all of the Justice Society. So if he's dead, then someone else would have to wield the ring. So that makes sense. So then who that could be, I do not know. But yeah, I think he characters like the Flash, if they decide to introduce him, Dr. Fate, Green Lantern, all those other people seem like characters that they might save for the second season. And again, this first season, just establishing core members, maybe Johnny Thunder at most, but that's it. That's basically it. So yeah, we have a new JSA though. We have a new JSA. But yeah, I mean, you could tell their kind of shock of being in the field when they saw their first dead body, like the dead body of the guard with his head lying in a pool of blood, and Beth just asked, like, is he okay? Like, I know his head is probably cracked open and stuff, but still, is he okay? Like, that kind of shock, and Yolanda just covering her mouth and everything, like, yeah, that kind of shock seeing a dead person out in the field when you're supposed to be tough and badass and capturing the gambler. That's not really a good reaction to have. I mean, obviously, I mean, yeah, I think most heroes would be desensitized to that kind of thing. They'd be disappointed that they failed to save someone, but they wouldn't stand there being all shell-shocked, like, oh no, someone's dead, like someone's life has been ended right in front of us, and all that kind of stuff. But then that's just like kind of like a reinforcement that they are just kids. They're not really used to seeing dead people. So like Courtney and Pat saw Joey die right in front of them on the bridge, and that took that took Pat out of the game for a while, and it made him reconsider doing this entire thing, even with Courtney. So the kids seeing their first dead body right in front of them is definitely another hurdle. But yeah, so we meet the parents. The parents are supervillains. So we have Sportsmaster and Tigress. Okay, Sportsmaster and Tigress. So the dad is Sportsmaster and the mum is Tigress, and their daughter is Artemis Croc. And she's a badass on the field too. You piss her off, she just gives you a mean right hook. A badass right hook. But yeah, so Sportsmaster and Tigress. So he has a weapon for almost every sport. Like he had like a hockey puck for like the hockey bomb puck, and then he had like the baseball bat for the baseballs. Sportsmaster. I wonder if he has like an actual tennis racket, because he had the badminton thing. I don't know what you call it, but the badminton thing that was like a flashbang. So he had that, but he threw that. He didn't really hit it. But I wonder if he actually does have like a tennis racket. Maybe some boxing gloves too. Like, if he's sports master, the name itself kind of sounds like he's mastered all sports to be used in combat too. So I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of different sports out there. But maybe it's just the sports where he can actually hit something. So maybe it's not all of them, but just the sports where you can actually hit something with a bat. But yeah, so they are very, very very, very what's the word? Aggressive is one word for it. Anytime a coach mistreats their daughter, anytime a coach treats their daughter unfairly, they just kill them. Apparently the first one disappeared. The second one had an accident with a lawnmower. And this second one they beat to death. They beat the third one even. The third one they beat to death and then buried in the forest. So yeah, I mean, yeah, right off the bat, I figured that they had some kind of evil doing vibes to them. That should have led to, maybe they're members of the ISA, but no, it wasn't until Jordan came along and started talking all icicle mode to them that it actually became all the more clear that these guys are members of the ISA, so then they're really not to be messed with. So yeah, very, very protective parents, So they are members of the ISA, so they were in the picture too. They were in the portrait. So we had Icicle. The Gambler was there too. So the Gambler, Stephen Sharp, I believe his name is. Yeah, Stephen Sharp, the Gambler. And then the Fiddler, then Solomon Grundy, the big bulky one at the back, and then Brainwave, and then the Magician, who's now dead, and I think someone else. I don't know, maybe. But yeah, so we're introducing more members now. In introducing more members of the ISA. So good to meet them. But yeah, no. So Project New America is to do with they need brainwave for it. They have the equipment. They have some of the equipment, most of it. They have the big satellite that they need and the access codes too. Now, so they need brainwave for it too. So knowing brainwave and his power to emit great waves of mental energy, they're gonna use the satellite to transmit some kind of signal. So Project New America. So I mean, yeah, if it's Project New America, so if they're planning on doing it all over America, Blue Valley might not be. I mean, they have a satellite that fits into the back of a massive lorry, and they have Brainwave, who has massive emissions. So Blue Valley alone might not be their target. Hell, like Nebraska alone might not be their target. So it might be going across literally, just brainwashing all of America to do their bidding or something. So yeah, if they're combining the power of Brainwave with the power of the satellites, then they may well be, talking about like mind control or mental kind of alterations of some sort to every citizen in America. And apparently Jordan's doing it for Cameron. Apparently Cameron is the kind of, is that kind of thing, like, I'm doing this for my kids and my family and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I mean, if we understood what he was actually planning on doing, I mean, it might be somewhat sympathizable. Like, I mean, if it's mind control, that's never really sympathy worthy. You can't empathize or sympathize with someone who wants to actually control other people's minds. But it might make it, I don't know. I don't know what it would make it. But I mean, if we knew what he was doing, we would at least have some context. But yeah, mind control or brainwashing of some kind, I think that's what's in the cards. But yeah, we'll find out. Speaking of Cameron, apparently he's a legacy member too. He's a legacy hero. He's a legacy. He's a legacy enhanced person. He's a legacy enhanced being. We saw when he blew out the candles, he had like a little twinkle of ice breath in the air too. So he has ice breath too. Yeah, I think I thought we'd see like another shot panning back to Jordan. Like Jordan would have seen his ice breath and been like, my son, he has my powers. He's just like me. But no, just that one lingering shot of the ice breath coming out and completely blowing out the flame. So yeah, that changes things. That's going to be interesting to explore. Yeah, I think. Yeah, because like originally my theory was he might actually discover what's going on, and then he might help the JSA actually take down the ISA and help take down his dad. But then if he had, I mean, he's not inherently bad though. He is a good person. He he discreetly helped out Yolanda with the spray painting on her locker and everything, and seems to be just he seems to keep to himself and not really get into trouble or get anyone else into trouble. So he's a fairly neutral person who is okay with helping other people when necessary. So I think him finding out he has these powers is going to be an interesting trip, how he reacts to it and, what exactly happens. But then once his dad finds out that he has those powers, like once his dad finds out that he has powers, he's going to be intrigued. Once his dad finds out that he has his powers, he's going to have his son's full attention, like, oh yes, I must train you to be the new High School Junior and train you to, take over the Project New America mantle and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know, it's going to be an interesting trip actually discovering what that kind of dynamic is like and how he explores these powers and what he decides to do with them. But yeah, we'll see. But yeah, he has powers. He has those powers. I mean, it's gonna be interesting to explore, but I think I still can't see him going down a dark path. I can't see him going down a dark path. I can't given how okay he is and how how he actually does help people when necessary from the beginning. Like I can't see him actually falling in line with his dad's plan of actually controlling every other person in the country or going against other people. So, unless his dad pulls out the mother card and tells him that this was his mother's dream to have Cameron be in the family business and to, do Project New America and all that kind of stuff. But I guess we'll see. I guess we will see exactly where that leads. But yeah, I can't really see Cameron immediately jumping down or taking a bike ride down the dark path with his powers. I think he might just be confused and try to learn to live with them at first, and then he might still go down that path of actually helping Courtney take down his dad and the ISA in the end. So yeah, we will see where it all leads. But yeah, I love that little scene once they all go back to the garage, like Courtney explaining to Pat like how bad this new team dynamic was, like, oh my god, I gave them orders and they wouldn't listen to me and they were so unresponsive and they went against everything and I was just trying to help them, and Pat being like, really? They you gave them explicit orders to do something and they didn't listen to you and they were so unhelpful. I wonder how that feels. Like the amount of time it took for her to actually gain some self-awareness and just be like, oh, I see where you're coming from now. That was smart. That was some smart self-awareness. Okay, I get you. That seems hilarious, but yeah, I think that whole kind of ending for them was cool, and him finally accepting that these kids wouldn't give up these hero mantles without a fight, and it's because they genuinely wanted to be heroes. They wanted to do some good. They wanted to actually fight the good fight in the name of the Justice Society of America. They wanted to carry on that legacy, stop the ISA before they hurt anyone else, and stop them and actually save their home, save their town, and save the people that they love and everything. So I think that more than anything, I think it wasn't really mentioned, but I think to Pat that kind of stood out. I mean, he made the point of saying that even if you asked them, they wouldn't really give back any of their stuff. They made that clear right off the bat. They're not giving back any of their equipment, but at least you know, they did this mission, you know, like they took this mission on themselves. They actually, even with minimal training, they were still they were still willing to go in and do the right thing and actually try and capture the bad guy and stuff. They weren't actually going around beating up innocent people or anything like that. So, you know, I mean, Rick's thing, it was initially just anger. He could have gone in and just torn his uncle a new one, but instead he took his anger out on an inanimate object, which is still vandalism, but still, it's the lesser of two evils. But yeah, Yolanda especially, if any of them retained their superhero identities, the one I would have wanted to see was Yolanda. Yolanda has worked hard to become Wildcat. She deserves that more than anyone. You know, she deserves to be able to reinvent herself and to actually rediscover who she is. So Yolanda as Wildcat is the one person I would have actually begged them to keep. So yeah, but everyone gets to keep it. Stripe came in and saved the day, saved them all, and took them back and everything. So now Pat himself has accepted this new group of kids as the new JSA, and he's now accepted that they have to work together to actually defeat the ISA. So from here on out, we're going to be seeing the JSA versus the ISA. I mean, the ISA doesn't really believe that this new team even is the JSA. They just, you know, seems like a bunch of kids running around in costumes and stuff. So the first fight is always iffy. So they just need, you know, Pat points out that they need training, they need combat training, they need field training, they need tactical awareness, and to actually, you know, be heroes very, very, very physically. It's not just about actual willpower. It's not just about bravery and stuff. Like, you have to know how to handle yourself in the field, and Courtney needs more training with the staff and everything. So despite all of that, they still held their ground. Like, you know, Yolanda being a boxer, she still held her ground, and even swung out the talons against Tigress and everything. Like Wildcat versus Tigress was a cool fight to see. And Owlman versus Sportsmaster, he still stood his ground and, you know, still stood back up and everything. So that was cool. So they didn't do terribly. They did not do terribly, but they could have done a whole lot better. But to be fair, though, these are supervillains with years of experience and training, trumping a few kids who have barely been doing this like a week, let alone like 2 weeks maybe. So it's understandable. But yeah, Pat made a good point. Training is needed, so they can, you know, or, you know, like hire out to some kind of, you know, open area that's unlicensed and everything, and just, you know, just practice with their abilities and stuff. So yeah, we can see how it works out. But yeah, that is pretty much all I've got from this episode. It was very, very fun seeing this new team in action for the first time, albeit very poorly. But I do look forward to seeing how they train and how they get used to each other and how they get to know each other and how they actually come together as the Justice Society to take down the ISA, and what other character reveals and story stuff happens along the way. The series is going great so far. I am loving this show. I'm loving it, so I can't wait to see how the story continues. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got from this episode. So yeah, that was Stargirl, Season 1, Episode 6, titled The Justice Society, as we now have them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next time on Stargirl. Again, the uncut reaction, the full-length watch along to this episode will be up on Patreon, so you can go check that out over there. And yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.